some, Labor Day weekend is synonymous with that last summer beach getaway. But you may want to think twice before you get into the water. This summer, shark activity at America's beaches was a little too close for comfort. In some cases, they came for the food and left with the flesh.
Sharks, the latest scare, you're looking at it.
Shark attacks on 2 separate beaches.
Last month, a 13-year-old boy and a 12-year-old girl were bitten in waters off 2 separate beaches in the New York City area.
It was like 1 second, it went like that, and then it just let go immediately.
Right there, we're next to the boat!
And then this sighting off the coast of Orange County.
Holy
And across the country, in Cape Cod, a 61-year-old man spent nearly 2 weeks in the hospital after a shark left puncture wounds on his torso and leg.
Call it Long Nook Beach for a subject possibly bitten by a shark in the thigh.
William Litton, a neurologist from New York, told the Associated Press he was swimming in 8 to 10 feet of water when he was attacked. 2 nursing students on the Cape that day provided care.
As we got closer, we realized he had been attacked by a shark. He needed immediate medical care.
So we grabbed all the towels that we could, tried to put them on, stop the bleeding.
6 surgeries later, Litton is in a Boston rehab clinic where he faces weeks of treatment and is still searching for a piece of normalcy.
There's been quite a bit of shark activity around the Northeast this summer.
Nick Whitney, a shark researcher, says sharks have been coming closer to shore in recent years in search of their food.
White sharks gained protection in the late 90s, so overall you have this kind of confluence of a lot of seals in the area and then more sharks coming in to feed on those seals.
So far this year, there have been 37 unprovoked shark attacks worldwide, 21 of those in the United States alone. And we aren't in the clear yet. In places like Florida, researchers say shark attacks historically occur more often in September.
We think that probably the reason there's a peak in September is because in Florida, in September is when we get some of the more tempestuous weather.
Last month, Dustin Theopold battled the shark attack on, of all days, Friday the 13th.
It's definitely weird being right back at the spot that it happened, though.
Dustin and his 8-year-old son, Emerson, were at Fernandina Beach in Florida.
I was out probably 20 yards.
He says while helping his son surf in just 2 feet of water, it happened.
Felt something grab on my foot. I turned around and swung and hit him right above his own eyes.
His son made it to shore.
I was like really confused. He was like swinging his arm.
Leaving behind bloody footprints on the sand, Dustin alerted other swimmers about the shark, but according to witnesses, not before another person was attacked.
The shark, he could have held on. He could have kept going. He could have kept jerking even more. He could have probably taken my foot if he wanted to. But he let go. I guess I wasn't on the menu.
Since the 1990s, a whole range of shark species have been protected by the federal government. Researchers say it's a factor responsible for driving up the animal population. But it's not all good for swimmers.
In general, the shark populations are doing a lot better on the east coast of the United States than they were, for example, 20 years ago.
A research project led by world-renowned shark expert Dr. Greg Scomo is underway in Cape Cod. In 2016, he invited my colleague, David Wright, to Cape Cod on a shark tagging trip of his own.
This is the tag right there. All right, so we'll pull that magnet off, which will turn it on, and then that'll ping away for 10 years.
Those pings, detected by audio buoys positioned along the shore, signal that a shark is swimming by.
It's a little smoother. Says a couple old guys can't help something, huh?
That's right. He and his fellow researchers check them regularly. Now, they're in the final year of their 5-year research project. Up overhead,
I got some valuable altitude now.
A spotter plane casts a bird's eye view and sees a shark primed for tagging. A GoPro attached to that pole gives us an up-close view of the shark.
We're fingerprinting it. Oh. Wow. Yeah, let's get the tagging pole. Starting to come up. Hold on.
I think I see him now.
I'm ready.
Ooh.
Tag!
That's a friggin' white shark. You don't see that every day.
As majestic as these animals are, they can still pose a big threat. And yet there are some people like Nick LaBeouf and Mike Dornelis that thrive under the water and do stuff like this on the regular. They say, don't blame the sharks.
You know, most of it is human error. It's, you know, our lack of understanding of getting in the water in an environment that we're not comfortable with.
Okay. That's their home. And I find myself here in the open ocean off the coast of LA on the doorstep of their home. And these guys are dishing out tips on how to avoid deadly encounters. I get the sense that that you guys get a little bit of an adrenaline rush being out there in the water.
I've never felt more calm and more relaxed than surrounded by a bunch of sharks, believe it or not.
Tiger, 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 tiger.
The duo was part of Discovery's Shark Week.
You can avoid almost every bad incident that happens with sharks.
Both are featured in the show The Laws of Jaws, unlocking what they call the keys to survival by reenacting harrowing real-life incidents. It's got to be a difficult and maybe even a learned skill to be able to actually face a shark in the eye when you're in these close contact with them, right?
Yeah, most people would want to swim away, and that's really not what you want to do with most sharks because it's going to show the predator versus prey.
The team has a test for me. Can simply smacking the water help prevent an attack? They say depending on the moves you make in the water, you can either distract or attract the shark. What's the difference between this noise that like a dead animal would make and this more intense splashing or slapping we're talking about?
Animal that's suffering, you know, if it's a fish and it's twitching a certain way, I think sharks might be attracted to that. They can pick up on that energy or pulse or whatever sound it is that they do make, and they'll come investigate.
The guys convinced me to dive in and learn the techniques that could prevent a fatal attack.
What I'm going to be doing is demonstrating just a paddle boarder, boogie boarder, just a repetitive sound, paddling.
Those little rhythmic splashes are the sounds that attract sharks. Instead, they say to scare the sharks away, a loud slap in the water is what you got to do.
So how much force should you be using when you slap down?
You want to give it all you got. So you want to catch that pocket of air right here in your hand, and you're coming down and giving it everything you have.
Try to create a shock wave.
Back in Florida, Dustin Theopold's close encounter with a shark hasn't kept him out of the water.
I can't imagine not having the beach in my life.
For Nightline, I'm Zachary Keesh.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.